They took a lot of treasure, most of it. In fact, the Normans really bought them off, and Hereward was isolated on his own. He didn't give up, however, and as you can see, these Saxon troops and volunteers have rallied together to fight the dreaded Norman invaders. Duke William laid siege to the Isle of Ely. He couldn't get in it. It was very well fortified and quite difficult to get into. But here we have an engagement between Hereward and some of his troops and the enemy, the Norman invaders of Duke William of Normandy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, the Normans did settle England in the end, but whose side are you on? Do you support the dead King Harold Godwinson? Do you support the Saxons of Hereward the Wake? If so, give the Saxons a cheer. Ferocious looking troops. And up the top of the hill, the Normans. Are you Norman? Do you like the Normans? Show them if you like them or not. Oh dear, I don't think they're very popular. These Saxons have cut their way out of the Isle of Ely and escaped when Duke William finally captured it and forced the survivors there to surrender without terms. These are free Englishmen who will not give up despite the Norman invasion. And now the Normans, with typical efficiency, have sent a force to go and collect the taxes. And a bit like the poll tax, I don't think they're going to be very popular. And indeed, there seems to be a parley developing. At least the Normans haven't attacked straight away. Obviously, they much prefer to go and extract money from the Saxons rather than kill them. Hereward is probably not going to have anything to do with this, and we'll see. I don't think this is going to be a particularly gentlemanly exchange between Hereward and his dreaded enemy, the Normans. In fact, they're shouting at each other. Hereward said, "Do you want to give in?" And the Saxons are saying, "No." The Normans are reacting badly. It's going to be a fight. The Normans have been highly successful. They destroyed the Saxon army at Senlac Ridge here at Battle. Will it happen again? Will the Saxons be victorious, or will they go down to defeat and oblivion? Cries of Hereward! The Normans equally confident. Furthermore, the Normans are more heavily armoured and they've got the high ground. That ground doesn't look sloping, but it's very steep. It's quite exhausting marching up and down that, especially if you've got lots of armour on. To attack uphill is bad news, but it looks like the Saxons are just going to have to do it or stand their ground, and they're going for it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saxons are attacking. Give them a cheer! You'll notice that two flank formations, the two battles as they're known, are going forward to attack the Norman centre and left flank. One of the Saxon battles is in reserve, banging their shields to encourage their comrades. Now they move forward too. Not the discipline and perhaps cohesion of the Romans, but as you can see, sound military judgment, quite shrewd. They're attacking both flanks of the Normans at the same time, while the other Saxons stay in reserve. But the attacking Saxons have gone uphill, and they're fighting a numerically stronger enemy who are fresher than them. Can they hang on? Can they be victorious? As you can see, a Saxon battle was a pretty noisy affair. The Battle of Hastings here had 14,000 combatants, so you can imagine how noisy that would have been. Sound of the horn, encouraging the men. The Saxons don't seem to be making any headway. Their archers are firing into the Normans, but they're very heavily armoured. Look at that, bang, crash, in they go. Norman against Saxon, kite shield against round shield, sword against sword. Some very nasty double-headed Saxon axes in play there that can cleave a man in half. Some single-headed axes which are just as vicious. And the Saxons are breaking. They can't take it, they're falling back. They're not routing. Oh yes they are, oh dear, they're not very happy at all. Ladies and gentlemen, they're falling back in some haste, but with a degree of cohesion. They're running, but in some semblance of order, back to their former position. They don't look very happy. This would encourage the Normans a lot. Hereward shouting, form up, form up! They must form their ranks. If they don't, they will be prey to an attack down the hill by these Normans, more heavily armoured, fresher, in the best position. The commanders of each battle frantically getting their men into order. Believe it or not, in Saxon times, if you had more than 35 men, you could count that as an army. They had very small armies, so this is a proper army here. And down comes the Norman left flank, interestingly heading straight for the centre. They're going for the hardest bit, where the heavily armed Saxons are, as opposed to the lightly armed flanks. In they come, straight down the hill, hoping to draw the centre of the Saxon line into battle. On they come. Will the Saxons hold? Each man attempting to strike the enemy. One Saxon down already. However heavily armoured these soldiers are, if you're hit in a vulnerable part, you are very badly wounded or dead. You can see one particular chap there wielding a single-handed axe to great effect and fighting off two Saxons. Really going at each other. He's using the stave, the handle of the axe, as a weapon as well as the blade. Look at that. And the Normans, overconfident. They only sent a third of themselves down the hill. They're being forced to retire. The Saxons are holding their ground. And the Normans are probably a little bit upset about this. They thought, oh goody, we're winning the battle, and they weren't. You'll notice that the Saxons and Normans are wearing very much the same sort of stuff. The helmets in particular were common to everybody, including the Normans, the Vikings, the Danes, the Saxons. Very, very simple conical helmets with a single nasal guard to stop someone cutting down your nose. There's no horns in the helmet. You ever see a Viking helmet anywhere, it's got horns in it? It's wrong. It didn't happen. That's Hollywood. And the Saxons are going forward again. They've got their courage back. Up the hill they go. All three battles, all three groups of Saxons. One of the Norman battles is coming down to meet it. The other two Norman battles haven't done anything at all. They're just standing there. Could this be they're discouraged? Perhaps not. They're just waiting for the Saxons to tire, marching all the way up the slope. Then they have all the advantage, just waiting for them to come. Lots of shouting. And now the clash of arms. The left flank of the Saxons charging up the last few paces into the Norman right. All three groups fully engaged. Hacking, thrusting, cutting, brute force. Not a lot of finesse, but in a battle like this, you don't want to be full of finesse. You just want to chop and cut, knock your enemy down. Those dreaded axes, one axe just knocked a Saxon completely flying and killed him stone dead. If this Norman survives, he's going to be singing songs of his great personal victory for years to come. Oh no, the Saxon's got up again. He must have been dazed, but he's alright. No, he's hobbling. He's not as well as I thought he was. In fact, he's fallen over again. Oh dear. There again, if you'd been hit by an axe like that, you probably wouldn't get up. And the Saxons have failed again. They're falling back. This is not looking good. Is this Hastings all over again? They can't beat the Norman armoured knights. The Normans must be very confident now. They must be thinking victory is within their grasp. These Saxons are the same as the one they beat. And in fact, they're pursuing. They're coming down the hill, confident of victory, and now they're attacking. Look at this. The Saxons are in trouble. The Normans are rushing down on top of them. Crash! The melee. The Saxons appear to be in some trouble. One man down. More casualties. Can't tell if it's a Norman or a Saxon. And the Saxon left is gone. Bowmen are running away. But the Saxons are fighting back. This is quite incredible. Having been chased down the hill, they're fighting back. The Normans have fallen back, appalled. They thought it was a victory. The Saxons are still holding. A very, very close run affair indeed. But the Saxons on the right of their line are having a hard time. There's not many of them on their feet. There's a lot of dead Saxons and a lot of dead Normans. It seems to be about half and half. Who's going to win this battle? The Normans are now crouching down behind their shields to make less of a target for the English archers. Quite a clever tactic. And I just noticed something. The Normans must be discouraged. They've sent their standards off. That in the trade is what we call a real giveaway. The Normans don't think they're going to win. Incredible they may seem, they've sent the standards off. This will demoralise their own men and encourage the Saxons. And down the slope they come, crashing into the Saxon line, and the Normans have taken down and killed the Saxon standard bearer. Mayhem! Dead bodies everywhere. Not sure who's fighting who anymore. However, there is a Norman running right down the slope and running away. In fact, the Normans are losing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saxons are winning! Men being axed, cut down, cleaved into, extremely unpleasant. A group of Normans fighting back. One Norman knight against two Saxons. And he's down. The two Saxons have got him and killed him. The last Normans fall.